In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the Path to Glory cards and if I think they're overpriced or underpriced depending on the odds of them actually receiving 1 or 3 match win upgrades. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about the current Path to Glory team and basically talking about do I think they're overpriced or underpriced depending on the odds. A lot of this has come around because of 2 TikToks and YouTube Shorts and so on I've made recently, where basically I was looking at players like Koku and I was saying, well, Koku plays for Turkey with really decent odds, especially if you look at it as he only needs 1 more win and he goes all the way up there to a 93, which is worth 10k more. Well, if you look at it compared to Georgia, they are very, very favoured to go and progress. Or at least get the win over Georgia, which as a result I would then deem him being underpriced. Now obviously this is a little bit harder when we come to meta cards because meta cards are subjective, but we'll be starting off with fodder, which I think is like clean facts basically, and then we'll be finally moving through to meta cards, which I guess are a little bit more subjective and opinion based as are they overpriced, are they underpriced, is the price of them getting upgrades or potential upgrades incorporated in their price, and so on and so on. So to start off, we're going to look at the fodder. The reason we're going to start by looking at the fodder is because these are the ones where 1 win will guaranteed have a significant increase because of course them going from an 81 fodder to an 82 fodder and so on and so on. Now sadly 2 of the cards are already taken out of being good investments, and that's Lukic and Zilali. Now unless you think that they're going to be weekly demanded, which I'll be completely honest with you, I just don't think they are, with them both being fodder at the moment, and I don't think a +1 significantly increases the demand for these cards. They're only going to go from a 91 rated card to a 92 rated card. Well, 91 rated cards are 25k, 92 rated cards are 25k. Meaning unless you thought there was going to be a significant increase in demand for them getting a +1 rating, I don't think either of these are going to be an investment. And just a reminder, this is how the upgrade system works. If they get 1 win, they get +1 overall. If they get 3 wins, they get +1 playstyle. If they go and win their quarterfinal, they get another overall. If they go and win the semi-final, they go and get 5-star, 5-star, and if they go and win the final, they go and get a +1 overall. So that's where those 91 rated really won't be demanded. I mean, maybe if they go and get 3 wins, they'll be a bit more interesting with a playstyle, but if they go from 91 to 92 rated, I just can't see it being a significant change for these cards to be demanded. So that's those 2 out already. So to start off with Schick and Czech Republic. Now Schick is slightly underpriced because he is actually favourable to get a +1, but he's not favourable to really do that well other than that. If we go and head over to something like SofaScore, we can see that they don't really back them against Turkey. We can see that they significantly back them against Georgia, and by no surprise they don't back them against Portugal. Meaning if they do go and not win their game against Georgia, then it is probably looking unlikely for them to receive an upgrade, but in theory, with there being a high chance of beating Georgia and a semi-chance, I guess, of beating Turkey in accumulation, that should really be 1 win amongst those 2 teams. So as a result, Patrick Schick should go from a 92 all the way up to a 93, which at the moment on current market value would be 8k more than he is at the moment. So I'd say Schick is undervalued, but I wouldn't exactly say he's the most favourable one to get upgraded for other 92s that are his price. The next player we head on to is going to be 92 Zalewski, representing Poland. Now it's quite interesting because Poland obviously aren't the worst footballing nation in the world, it's just they have the worst luck in the world. Poland managed to get themselves Netherlands, Austria and France in their group. So I mean with both France and Netherlands basically, you know, not really any chance whatsoever. It's a little bit like the Schick one where they are favourable to go and beat Austria, but if they don't go and beat Austria, they really don't have much on their plate. So I'd say he's probably not quite as good as Schick, but he's obviously better than someone who's got absolutely 0 chance and better than the 91s. So yeah, slightly underpriced in terms of he can get upgraded, but in the end of the day, yeah, you're kind of just gambling on 1 game on him. So now heading over to Koku and Turkey, actually looking likely to be one of the best investments you can go for. At the moment coming in at 26k, which is 9k less than what 93s are going for. Again, all you need to do is get 1 win to go to a 93. Well, let's go through the games. He's got Georgia, which they're even more favourable than Czech Republic are to beat them. Very, very favourable there. We then have them against Turkey, and they back him a little bit more against, Turkey against Portugal. They back him a little bit more, but again, I'd be very surprised if Portugal don't go and win that. And then they go and play Czech Republic, which again, they are favourites for. So it's kind of the other side of the coin from Czech Republic, where they've got the same teams they're favourable to be and unfavourable to beat, but when they go and play each other, then they're more favourable to go and win. So Koku, as a result, looks like a really good investment for that. On top of that, Turkey don't have the lowest chance in the world to actually receive the 3-win upgrade plus the qualification upgrade, which means he'd then go and get himself a playstyle and another upgrade if they go and win the round of 16 game. Obviously, again, we don't know who that's against at the moment. I'm sure we can simulate it, but I'm not going to be looking that deep into it. But again, could even receive another upgrade on top of what he currently has. We then do head to Yano Black, who actually is, funny enough, a bit of a fodder. I believe that the next cheapest 96 is like 66k, so he actually does come in at SBC fodder. I'll be honest with you, he's way more like weekly demanded, I think, than SBC fodder. So yeah, because I think at the moment he is the most used Path to Glory card, if I'm not wrong. If we go here, we go to Euro Path to Glories, we click on Games, we can see that he's the most used Path to Glory. So I actually think he's a really good investment one way or the other. I don't think he even needs to get upgraded, just because of how much he's being used, and he is, again, literally SBC fodder, so he's got nice dual utility right here. We can scroll down here, and you can see right there, he is only at the moment 5k off being the cheapest 96. There's generally about 3k between it. So really nice dual utility, being used a lot, and SBC fodder. Well, let's have a look at Slovenia's game. Sadly, it's England's group, so yeah, they've seen more favourable outcomes. Probably best bet is maybe Serbia, I think. So again, they back them very unlikely against Denmark. They then go and play against Serbia, and yeah, they don't really back them against them. And then they play against England. So yeah, underdog to say the least. I don't imagine he'll get upgraded, but yeah, funny enough, he's still a really, really good investment just because of his dual utility. Now, I'm not actually going to be covering any of the Copa America players, even though one of them is SBC fodder. It was the one that was released in the mini-release. The reason for this is because the Copa America don't actually play until 1 week after the Euros, meaning in that 1 week where the Euros are played but the Copa America aren't, there's probably going to be loads of other good investments. And I don't really like buying stuff and holding on to it for longer than a week, because normally that means the investment becomes quite inefficient, unless it's maybe something like Team of the Weeks or Team of the Seasons. But the sake of him going up like 8-9k in 2 weeks' time isn't amazing, and who knows what the market's going to be like in 2 weeks' time. Fodder could potentially be cheaper, could be more given, but yeah, I wouldn't really like buying something and holding on to it for 2 weeks. Yeah, there you go. So the Copa America doesn't actually start until 5-6 days after the Euros starts, so as a result, we're not so much of a fan of buying these cards. We're now going to finish off with Falkirk and Germany. So this is Falkirk and Undav, really. Yeah, it should hold value really, really well. I mean, again, they're very favoured to go in 3-0 in their group. Obviously, they're the host favourites. I do think Falkirk's actually really good value because, of course, of how favourite they are, and he's really cheap. We don't have this. We don't really have this for many of the other top nations. You've got like Danny Olm, who's 150k, but apart from that, you're not getting any top nations for cheap right here. They're all again like minimum 200k, or like you've got like France, the cheapest you can go is 1.3 million. England, the cheapest you can do there is 2 mil. So, because there aren't really, I mean, Pedri I think is probably one of the next cheapest. Because you don't really have many cheap players whatsoever, cheap favourite players, I do think Falkirk could be a really, really good investment. He's also being used quite a lot when I was checking the PGPs, which is how many games they've had played with them. Loads of games have already been played with Falkirk, which is very interesting, bear in mind he was in the mini-release. So, yep, should hold his value very well, as long as, of course, they don't get knocked out of the tournament. I'd say as long as they make it to the round of 16, probably looking at decent coins. If they go and get all 3 wins in the group, yep, just going to be looking good. Even after the first win, I still think he rises nicely. So yeah, Falkirk I do think is a nice investment, and I do think he's actually undervalued. Bear in mind how many of the top favourite nations actually have a cheap player. So that is going to go and wrap it up. If you want to play it very safe, you just sell them before their games. If not, especially the cheap fodder players, you go and gamble on them winning. But that's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.